Good evening, everyone. God, it's late. It's almost 11:30 here. This is your humble host Hunter here. Hope you're all having a good start to your week. Hope you all had a good Monday. I yeah, I haven't streamed in like a week or two. Last time I was on with Brandon and my friend Bradley. Shout out to Brandon and Bradley. But yeah, I was just kind of sitting here. I was like, I haven't streamed in a minute. Maybe I'm just gonna hop on and just kind of rant a little bit because so I'm gonna be real, y'all. Okay, let me take a sip of beer here because I'm gonna be talking a little bit. Give me. That's the stuff. All right, so I'm a huge AEW fan. Love AEW. Stopped watching WWE on a regular basis really after the whole Saudi deal. And so I was really grateful for AEW. Now, AEW's definitely done some shit I'm not crazy about, hiring Ric Flair near the top of that list. But yes, I agree, Kat. Yeah, Ric Flair's bad. But but at the end of the day, AEW is a company I really do adore, and I love what they've been doing with Pride Month. And actually, if you go on AEW or shopaew.com, they have a Pride shirt where part of the proceeds go to the Trevor Project, which, if you haven't made a donation to Trevor Project or a LGBTQ organization, we're almost at the end of the month. So if you have the means, go ahead and do that. But what I'll say is, man, WWE is in a really interesting place because they have Cody Rhodes as their WWE champion. They have Damian Priest as their world heavyweight champion. Um, what's his name? Jacob Fatu just went ahead and debuted for WWE. I'm a huge Jacob Fatu fan. But WWE has this Vince McMahon cloud still hanging over it. They have that lawsuit hanging over. I know, buddy. No, I'm not feeding you more. My cat's been yelling at me. Mr. Katson's been yelling at me to feed him more, and I'm not going to. Um, but yeah, they just have this Vince McMahon cloud hanging over the company because this lawsuit's not resolved, and it's very frustrating talking to WWE fans right now. The internet wrestling community in general, it's one of those things where I do sit back and I go, why do I even watch wrestling? Because the people who make up the internet wrestling community, there's some great people. There's some great people in the internet wrestling community. I follow some good people on Twitter, but goddamn, the some of the mouth breeders I end up interacting with who talk about how, oh, you're projecting, WWE would never make fun of a lawsuit or they would never do anything racist or sexist. It's like, y'all don't understand the history of this fucking company, or you're just very naive. It's one of the two. Oh, Reese, what up, girl? I miss you. We need to talk soon. I've missed your last couple streams. I'm an asshole. I'll be on Friday. I'll be on Friday for a stream to watch you stream. But yeah, you know what it is, and I'll get real with you. I'm always honest on my streams anyway. It's so weird not having a job. I just have no structure right now. But I don't really need to get a job immediately. I can afford to take like another month off, month or two off. So I'm kind of just like, all right, I'm just gonna watch a bunch of shit and stream shit. Like, what else am I gonna do? I have been going on a lot of walks. I've been going on walks like 4 times a week. That's been really nice. Going for like a hour and a half walk 4 times a week. It's been really cool. Yeah, homie. I am enjoying the downtime. We do need we need to figure out a game on Steam or something that like a 2-player game we can play, because that needs to happen. I haven't streamed the game yet. I almost want to stream Kingdom Hearts just because I almost want to replay those. I really like Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is kind of great. shit, maybe I'll play that. Maybe I'll start streaming Kingdom Hearts. But um, you know what's so weird is I'm kind of open to games. Man, what am I playing right now? I'm playing Mad Max right now. Mad Max is fucking fun. Mad Max is a fucking blast. Love that game. Um, when it comes out, I'm gonna be streaming the fuck out of that new Indiana Jones game. I'm hyped for that. I hope that game's good. I could see them fucking that up so easily, but I'm hoping it's good. But yeah, I'm gonna end up. There's this wrestling game coming out called Ultra Pro Wrestling, made by this like really small indie developer. I think it's like a team of like 20 guys, and they're making this like wrestling game that's very much in like the old school like 99 style games, like WWF No Mercy. I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped for that goddamn game. So I will be streaming that regularly, but yeah, we'll figure out something to play. That'd be fun. Oh yeah, but yeah, get back to the whole internet wrestling community. There were so many. It was like maybe a month ago. Bianca Belair, which if like Google Bianca Belair real quick. If you have not seen Bianca Belair, that woman is a fucking goddess. And there are all these people online just calling her the N word. It's like, god damn, people, like why are you so shitty? What up, Afternoon Tune? Um, I'm high and I'm tired, man. But I'm good. I've got like 3 or 4 interviews. Oh yeah, yeah, she's so fine. Um, but yeah, I actually did. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. I did 4 interviews in the last 10 days. Like I've been busy. I've been doing a lot of reviews. So I actually have some interviews coming out here in the next day or two. So yeah, I'm excited. I think I have another one. I have one on Wednesday. I think I might have one on Friday. So yeah, I'm busy. I've been busy the last 10 days or so. But you know, I haven't interviewed a wrestler. I would love to interview a wrestler. That would be, oh god, if I interviewed Liv Morgan, that would be whoo, that would be that man, that would be funny. I'd be blushed the whole time. Fucking love Liv Morgan. I'd be blushed if I met Bianca. Bianca's the thing about Bianca Belair that's so cool, and I don't know if she's getting paid. I think she's making a couple million a year easily. She's worth every fucking penny. Bianca Belair is fucking amazing. She might be the most athletic. I mean, I've been watching wrestling for God 32 years, 33 years. Bianca Belair is easily one of the most athletic wrestlers I've seen in my life. Not just the most athletic women. Like she's a freak of nature athletically. You know someone who knows Liv Morgan? Well, hey, if Liv Morgan wants to stop by the show, that would be funny. That'd be a fun interview. We could talk sneakers. I could talk sneakers with Liv Morgan, but creeper Instagram respectfully. Yeah. No, of course, it's always respectfully. That is one thing that about Rhea Ripley that's been funny. Like, and of course, people ruin shit because they can't shut the fuck up. I love that Rhea Ripley has just made mommy like an accepted thing in wrestling culture at this point. Like people just call Rhea Ripley mommy and she fucking loves it. It's like, goddamn girl, like Rhea Ripley's a shit. I fucking love Rhea Ripley. Yeah, that woman. Whew. But then like you had what was it? Like 3 weeks ago, Sky Blue, who's an AEW wrestler, another woman who, my God, stunning. But there's some guy yelling like, "Take it off!" Woo! It's just like, guys, shut the fuck up! Like, what is wrong with you? Wait, yeah, Hunter, because of creeps like you creep on Rhea. What? I don't creep on. I don't creep on. I don't creep on Rhea. Like that's the thing. Like there is definitely a difference between like going like saying something like damn she fine versus oh yeah like whip them titties out. It's like guys like there's levels to this shit. Like calm the fuck down. I would never yell "take it off" at a fucking wrestling show because I'm not that much of an asshole. But I've heard guys do that shit. I remember I was at a this was years ago. I was like 15, 16. Um I went and saw WWE live. I went to a house show and I still remember Trish Stratus was wrestling Victoria. And yeah, this fucking dude was like, "Whip your titties out." I'm like, and like 16-year-old me is like hormonal as fuck. But I'm just like, dude, like you're what the fuck, man? Like decorum. It's oh my god. I don't get it, man. Like, why do you always have to announce shit? You know what I mean? Why can't you just enjoy something and be like, damn, they're fine? Like, you don't have to make a fucking parade out of it. Like, yeah, Trish looks great. Trish is what, 40, 43, maybe? Let me see. Am I right? Wow, she's 48. God damn, she does not look it. Good for her. Damn, that's really great. Oh yeah, fucking love Trish. Fucking love Trish. But yeah, WWE's in a really interesting spot because they're gonna be moving to Netflix. Monday Night Raw is gonna be on Netflix moving forward. But it's so weird to see. I think it's weird to see people simp for any company. Because at the end of the day, it's a bunch of billionaires who don't really give a fuck about us at the end of the day. Like, I get shit from my Marvel love sometimes, but I'm constantly roasting Disney. Like, I roast Disney a lot. Like, so much so, I always kind of am like, oh God, are they going to take my screeners away? Because apparently that's what happened for Warner Brothers. I apparently get less Warner Brothers screeners sent to me because rumor is because I might have said some shit about Snyder and they didn't like but yeah, whatever. Yeah, but yeah, WWE's in this really weird spot with the whole Vince scandal and stuff, and I don't know, it's weird. Like what they're doing with Liv Morgan right now, like the whole like sexual harassment storyline, because that is what it is. Like she's sexually harassing this dude, sending him nudes and shit, while this company has multiple sexual allegations against them. Like it's a really bad look. And to have WWE fans online, this is to bring it back full circle. That's been the thing that's been driving me nuts tonight. I'm seeing people go, "Why are you guys reaching? WWE wouldn't do that." And it's like, no, WWE's terrible. Like WWE is the Disney of pro wrestling. Like, look, I've talked about my Disney love. I love Disney, but I'm not going to sit here and go, oh yeah, Song of the South doesn't exist, and they're not a racist, sexist company that underpays all their park employees, and we're just starting with that shit. But it's maddening how people act like it's not a thing. This is a company that Owen Hart died in the ring, fell from the rafters, and they kept the show going. Like, people just want to just pretend that shit doesn't exist, and they've done a ton of shit like that, y'all. Like, again, it's so funny to me how so many people were like, wow, this like Nickelodeon, the whole Quiet on Set, holy shit. At some point a Disney one of those is going to come out. It might not be in our lifetimes. It might take 50 years, but I guarantee you a Quiet on Set equivalent will hit Disney at some point, and that shit, whoo, like if you just did an actual documentary on Walt Disney alone, holy shit. Like, I think people forget. Speaking of Disney being shitty, I always laughed. You remember that movie Saving Mr. Banks came out when where Tom Hanks was playing Walt Disney, and Walt Disney's shaking hands with kids and shaking hands with black people, like, oh my god, like, oh, thank you so much for coming to my park. And I'm sitting there like, man, this is not Walt Disney. Walt Disney would have spit on his hands when he got an eye shot. Just like, black people. Like, nah, that's not how he was. Fuck that. But at some point, that shit will happen to Disney. At some point, there will be some amazing documentary done about them, and it's going to be fucking damning when that happens. Um, but yeah, man, like the internet wrestling community, like I'm not even watching the new Star Wars show yet. I'm probably gonna wait till the week of the finale and then binge it. But my God, like seeing Star Wars fans, how are you all so miserable? Star Wars fans, like, oh my God, like I think Marvel fans are miserable right now. Do not misunderstand. I think Marvel at this point, um, like while okay, how do I put this? I don't think people understand. We got 10 years of basically pristine quality shit. There was no way they were going to be able to keep that up. At some point, there's going to be some quote drop off. But for me, the drop off hasn't been this like you're acting like we're getting fucking Wonder Woman 84s every week. Like we're like that's not the case. The Marvels kicks ass. Fucking Werewolf by Night kicks ass. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I would argue, is the best thing that Disney or that Marvel's put out. I think Wakanda Forever is going to age a lot better than I think people realize. Wakanda Forever is amazing. I actually think Wakanda Forever is as good as Black Panther, if not better, because I actually like the third act better in Wakanda Forever. But that's such a raw movie too, Wakanda Forever. I've rewatched it like 3 times. I've rewatched it like 3 times since it hit Disney Plus. That's one of those movies I was mad because I was sitting around all these white people and not mad because I was sitting around the white people, but I always feel a little uncomfortable sometimes crying around white people in the theater because I'm always just like, oh God, like how much am I being judged right now? When Alea and when we went and saw what's the movie? A Star is Born. When Lady Gaga starts singing her part in Shallow, I lost my shit. Oh man, I was fucking Green Mile crying. I was like, oh, Gaga! Like I lost my fucking mind. And there was this white woman sitting next to me, and I could just feel the judgment. I didn't even look at her direction because I knew, like, when someone's staring at you and you like feel it. It's like, oh God, if I look, it becomes real. I stayed the course, just stared straight ahead. But oh man, I was pretty good during Wakanda Forever for that first half, and then when Angela Bassett, when she gave that speech at the UN about how I've lost everything, I lost my mind. I was like, oh Jesus Christ! Like oh man, that scene just broke my ass. Like Angela Bassett, I don't give a fuck what anyone says. She deserved that Best Supporting Actress win. I don't give a shit what anyone says. I know people go, Jamie Lee Curtis deserved it. He wasn't even the best. She wasn't even the best supporting actress in that movie. It was Stephanie Sue, by the way. It really should have been. It should have been Stephanie or should have been Angela Bassett. That's who should have won Best Supporting Actress. Yeah, that last scene gets you. Also, it might be my favorite mid-credit scene for how passive aggressive it is, because that felt like Ryan Coogler basically telling Letitia Wright, like, look, bitch, you need to stop being a bitch about these fucking vaccines and masks, because we will make it so that Wakanda will age this young brother until T'Challa will be 18 and we will kill your ass in the third Black Panther. So I love that mid-credit scene because it accomplishes two things. You understand that T'Challa has a kid, which, by the way, is such a clever way out of that situation, because I remember I had so many. I had probably 200 of my friends easily ask me, what should they do with T'Challa? I was yielding that question for like a month, and I was like, look, I wouldn't recast him. What I would do is I would go ahead and have another, even if it's the original character, just have a new male Black Panther eventually. And I had so many of my friends go like, dude, what the fuck? I'm like, no, because I wouldn't recast T'Challa. If anything, you could have done T'Challa like a variant of T'Challa. I think that would have been another decent workaround. But this is fucking clever, because with the snap happening, T'Challa did get snapped away. He wouldn't know that he had a kid. You go, oh, okay, yeah, that makes fucking sense. So I thought I'm assuming it was Coogler who, because apparently Feige was completely hands off on Wakanda Forever. But I saw that and I was like, that's fucking brilliant. I was like, bravo, Ryan Coogler, you brilliant bastard. Yeah, I love that. But yeah, Shuri, it's a ticking clock at this point. She'll get killed off, and then whomever they want to cast next, pardon me, as his son grown up, will become Black Panther, and that's great. Because there's so much shit. There are so many Black Panther stories that you should tell. I'm hoping I'm going to end up doing it probably Thursday this week. I'm going to do my MCU wish list. So like 12 things, probably 12 things that I want to see happen in the MCU in the next decade. And one of them is I want Doctor Doom to invade Wakanda. I want that shit. Give me Doctor Doom against Black Panther, because Doctor Doom has a history with Wakanda in the comics. What you could do now I'm fancy bucking, but fuck it. What you could do is you could have one of the calls that Sharon Carter was making, the power broker. You could have one call be to Doom. You could have one be to Shang-Chi's sister, who's running the 10 Rings now. I totally forgot. I'm forgetting her name. She's fucking gorgeous though. But her, Shang-Chi's sister was fucking awesome in Shang-Chi in the 10 Rings. But she's running the 10 Rings now. So yeah, like have her and the power broker work together. And then your other thing, have fucking Sharon call Justin Hammer. Have the storyline be that, Shield's been compromised and everything. So we need a new weapons manufacturer. Have Hammer pull some strings and he goes ahead and becomes the weapons manufacturer for the government. That gets him back in the fold. That can tie into Armor Wars. That's what I would do. I know, I know you want to leave Wakanda alone. Like the thing about Wakanda is you have to be careful because you don't want to become like the X Mansion. You know what I mean? Like you don't want people attacking Wakanda every fucking movie, and you're like, God damn, Wakanda's not that secure. Like Wakanda should feel special in that way. And I think in Wakanda Forever, the actual way they talk about the security of Wakanda, I went, okay. You're actually going out of your way to make me understand how difficult it is what Namor and his people are pulling off. But you can have Doctor Doom and Wakanda interact. That feels like something that needs to happen. You know what? Fuck it. Maybe I'll just start talking about my list now. I'll name off a couple other ones. Another thing I want in the MCU moving forward, Amon Vellani, that wonderful nerd, protect her at all costs. She needs to become an X-Men officially. She needs to become an X-Men officially. And I want to see her interact with Miles Morales. I want to see her interact with Peter Parker. Like, I want to see Wakanda Kamala interacting with these younger characters. We're probably getting Young Avengers. I feel like that's almost a certainty. That might even be a Marvel special presentation thing. They may not want to do a movie, but I think you could do a Young Avengers Disney Plus show or something. But Amon Vellani, they clearly have plans for her. They clearly have plans for Kate Bishop. They clearly have plans for Yelena. So I mean, they've got the pieces. They've got Cassie Lang. They've got the Young Avengers pieces right there. So I do want to see that. I think Miss Marvel should be the one leading them. I think that would be really fun. And then, fuck it, I'll talk about this. I don't want to, but I will. I don't know what the fuck is going on over at Marvel, but can y'all figure out Blade? Like, how the fuck is this so difficult? It's a black dude that's cool that fights vampires. How are you? You've lost 2 directors. I just saw that Delroy Lindo left the project. Fucking love Delroy Lindo. Lindo. I was like, oh, dude, like it's like here's the thing. I love Blade. Blade is one of those characters that I think people do overthink, especially when they write him. So here's the thing: can you just give Blade to Jordan Peele and let's call it a day? Just let Peele do it at this point. Let Michael Giacchino do it. He did Werewolf by Night. He clearly gets Marvel horror. Let him do it. But look, I am optimistic that it will get made and that, like, it will come out. But I'll be straight. If I'm Mahershala Ali, I am pissed the fuck off because look, that's 2-time Oscar Best Supporting Actor winning Mahershala Ali. He calls y'all and goes, "Hey, I love Blade. I love this character. I want to go ahead and star in a fucking movie." Feige goes, "Oh yeah, absolutely, we'll make it work." And look, COVID happened, so I mean that did shut. So that shut shit down. And I do think that people, to go on another separate rant here real quick, I think people really need to understand that the box office is going to be different for the next, I'd say, 5 years. The fact of the matter is, we're still coming out of the pandemic, which I feel like we are not talking about that enough. Like, we did go through a 2-year like a multi-year pandemic, and we're still feeling the effects of that. So that's number 1. 2, job market, it's not great. So people aren't going out as much. And 3, we're experiencing one of the hottest summers in like the last 10, 15 years. So yeah, people aren't going to the theater right now. Like, I don't know why that's such a surprise to people. So, like, but and I've talked about this. I don't know if I've ever seen people ruder at the theaters than since I've kind of been going back since we got the vaccine. It's been nuts how rude people have been at the theater. I've seen people doing this to cashiers and the people getting on the popcorn, like snap at them like fucking dogs. I'm like, what is wrong with you? So I get it. Like, I'm supposed to go to the movies tomorrow, and I'm going to be real. I have a couple things I rented. I'm like, maybe I'll just stay home and not go to the theater. Maybe I'll go Wednesday. Maybe I'll go Thursday. Maybe I push it off till next week because I was going to go see Kinds of Kindness or whatever, the new Emma Stone flick. I was going to go see that, and I'm kind of like, well, maybe I just want to wait till next week. I agree. Yeah, Reese, I'm happy I'm happy you're there with me, homie. Because yeah, I think people just got ruder. I mean, Reese. I'll talk to you. Just you're clearly talking to me, but we're both pretty active on Twitter. Man, I'm getting people more and more. Like, I've had Barbs come at me and Swifties, and like I'm getting people kind of coming at my ass, and I'm learning to use the block button a good amount because I'm just getting over people's bullshit. Yeah, Twitter is kind of a cesspool. But especially for women in the internet wrestling community too. It's like I see women getting harassed all the fucking time on there. It's like, god damn, So to tie it back to wrestling, to get back to my original point, as an AEW fan, I know the story came out that ratings were the lowest they've been in a couple months. It was like just over 500,000. But here's the thing, y'all. Why does it matter? If people like it's the same thing. Okay, I'll give you this example. So I remember when Scott Pilgrim came out. Scott Pilgrim got its ass whipped in the theaters and in the box office because it came out the same weekend as Expendables. Thanks for that, by the way, because we ended up getting 3 more fucking Expendables films. But I didn't give a fuck because I saw Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I saw it at the Alamo Drafthouse. Shout out to Alamo Drafthouse. Sony, don't fuck that up, by the way. I agree, Reese. Blue checks are usually an auto block too. It's like you're paying for Twitter, like you sad person. But Yeah, I saw Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I saw it with one of my best friends, Colin. Shout out to Colin. And we saw it at the Draft House. I got a Royale with cheese, I remember, and I got a Guinness milkshake, and yeah, and we just sat there in awe of how fucking awesome this movie was. And I love Scott Pilgrim, man. And it's like that movie didn't do well box office wise, but it ended up finding a cult following. Um, AEW's never gonna be WWE, but at the same time, it's not trying to be WWE. It's trying to be an alternative. Like in the same way that A24 is not trying to be fucking Disney, is trying to be an alternative to Disney. You need alternatives because unfortunately, like Disney's not going to put out every fucking thing. I'll give you a perfect example. Disney, one thing that I've talked a lot of shit about, I think rightfully so, outside of Pixar, Disney's animation, I think, has felt very uninspired. I thought Wish was flat out average. I'm just like, God damn, Disney, can like this is you're celebrating 100 years of Disney and Wish is the best you can do. It's like, y'all, like, does anyone have any pride in that animation department? But this is what's been pissing me off about Disney from the animation front is that they're doing those live action remakes. Which Pinocchio, my God in heaven, Pinocchio fucking sucks. I hate that movie. But they're doing that shit. But then they're just doing uninspired animation. And I was talking to one of my friends about it. How when I think about Disney animation, I think about stuff like Robin Hood. I think about Rescuers Down Under. I think Sword and Stone. I think Robin Hood. Lion King. 30 years today, celebrating the Lion King. That's one of the best openings to a film I've ever seen in my life. When he goes in the circle of life, and then you get the boom, and you get the Lion King title screen. That's actually one of my not to get too deep here. That's one of my favorite memories of my dad. May he rest in peace. Was us sitting together in the theater, and I'm sitting in between my parents, and I remember looking over and just holding his hand. We were both crying because, yeah, man, Circle of Life is an amazing fucking song. God damn. Oh shit. All right, no crying on stream. But yeah, man, but all that to say, I think Disney has been very lax in the animation department. On the flip side, you look at someone like DreamWorks. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is one of the best animated films I've seen in my life. I haven't reviewed it yet properly, but Netflix just put out one of my favorite animated films in the last 5 years in Ultraman Rising. Ultraman Rising is the fucking shit. It's my second favorite film of the year. I love that movie. Ultraman is so great. And both Puss in Boots films are great, actually. The first one is a solid A minus. Fucking love the original Puss in Boots. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is fucking terrifying. Like, that's a great intro movie for some horror. I was actually talking to my friend about that because she was asking me. She was like, I kind of wanted to start having my kid dip their foot in the horror pool, see if they like it. And she was like, what should I show them? And I was like, oh, Courage the Cowardly Dog. I'm like, that's where you start. I'm like, Courage the Cowardly Dog is basically like an upgraded Scooby-Doo, but it takes this horror way more seriously. But I was like, I think Courage is fine. I think for an 8-year-old, I think Courage is fine. But I was like, yeah, start them off with some Courage. See what they think. Man, Courage the Cowardly Dog rules too. Courage the Cowardly Dog is a very underrated show. It's yes, I do remember. I do remember the Venus. To be fair though, like, I think people forget how much nightmare fuel him is from Powerpuff Girls. Hello, girls, that whole shit. Oh yeah, no, that Alea had never seen Powerpuff Girls, so like 2 weeks ago, I ran it. I mean, he can be scary and be a bad bitch. Multiple things can be true there. But she had never seen Powerpuff Girls, and so I threw on Powerpuff Girls, and we watched like 7 or 8 episodes. And she was like, wow, him is fucking terrifying. I was like, him has swag, but him is like, if you heard that voice, like, The fact the opening, like the first appearance of him is them using their voice uh for Bubbles octopus, like pretending that it's the octopus talking, and then him turns it into a giant kaiju monster. Him is fucking terrifying. Like, him does not fuck around. Man, Cartoon Network. Cartoon Network has some. I haven't watched Smiling Friends yet. I've heard that's a really great show. I'll watch that at some point. I'm working my way through TV right now. That's my mission this week. So I finished The Bear season 1 today. I know season 3 just dropped tonight. That's why I'm like binging it. So I'm gonna probably binge season 2, if not tomorrow. Maybe Wednesday. Maybe I'll binge it Wednesday. But yeah, I for IO, is it IO or AO? It's IO, right? Edibri. I'm just such a fan of hers. I think she's fucking delightful. Watching oh my god, watching her in Bottoms, I was like, she's great. Like, oh my god, she's fucking fantastic in the movie. That's a movie that really deserves more love. Is Bottoms. We're in Pride Month, y'all. If you have not watched Bottoms, watch Bottoms. It is wonderful. You know what? Fuck. You know, I don't think I'm gonna go to the theater tomorrow, but I think I'm gonna do a girls double feature. I think I'm gonna do Bottoms and Joyride. A great double feature, by the way, if y'all have not done it. Joyride is a fucking blast. I'm still mad we haven't gotten Crazy Rich Asians 2 because the studio's underpaying the director. Crazy Rich Asians made so much fucking money. Like, people wonder why there's strikes happening. Like, this is why. Because these people are fucking undervalued and these CEOs are greedy assholes. Like, okay, fuck. Hang on. Beer. Okay. Let me talk about David Ayer real quick. So David Ayer, they're about to lose the rights to the NBA, right? The NBA is splitting up between, I think it's like Prime Video and Peacock. I think there's maybe one other streaming services or something. David Zaslav might be the worst CEO in the history, like in the last 30 years. What he's doing with Warner Brothers is it's fucking criminal. I don't understand it. The amount of tax write-offs, the amount of shit he's just canceled for no fucking reason. Canceling Our Flag Means Death alone is some bullshit. And the guys who just directed Bad Boys for Life or Bad Boys Ride or Die, the same guys who did Bad Boys for Life, they also directed some episodes of Miss Marvel. Oh god, I'm blanking on their names. I gotta look it up. But they the directors. Adil and Bilal, I believe is how I say it. They went ahead and directed that Batgirl movie that we'll all never get to fucking see. And let me just say this: Are you telling me that Batgirl was worse than the Flash? There's no goddamn way. There's no fucking way that Batgirl is worse than the Flash. And looking at how these directors have directed 2 great Bad Boys films back to back, it's insane. It's insane that the movie just fucking deleted. The fucking Coyote versus Acme movie. That looked so cool. I was so excited for that movie when it got announced. And for them to just go, nope, shelving it, never gonna see it. Like, it's fucking absurd. Like, he's a fucking moron. And here's the thing. I did a real talk. I can't remember how long ago he became the CEO. Like 3 years ago, something like that. But I went ahead, I came on mic, I did a real talk. I still remember this. I flat out told y'all, I was like, David Zaslav is gonna doom this fucking company. I think that was my exact quote too, because this is the same motherfucker who greenlit like Honey Boo Boo and shit like that over on TLC. And I was telling y'all, I'm like, this dude is gonna fuck things up. And I had several people go like, dude, you're being paranoid. Come on. How bad could he really be? Infamous last words. And look at what he's done. Look what he's done to Warner Brothers. The fact that Warner Brothers is doing they're teaming up with Disney Plus, I think is what it is. They're gonna form like uh one giant bundle. I think that's what yeah. So they're gonna I don't know if it's live yet, but yeah, a couple months or last month they talked about how they're gonna go ahead and do a Disney Plus Hulu Max bundle. Like, that's insane to me. But at the same time, I think that tells you what you need to know about streaming, because we're getting to this point where there's so many. Okay, let me think about the amount of streaming services I have. So let me go through them. So I've got Disney Plus, Netflix, Hulu, Prime Video, Apple TV. I have this one called Triller TV, so I can watch AEW. So that's another one. I think I said Peacock. So I mean, I've got like 7 or 8. Like, I've got a few, and it's become cable at this point. I just hate having a fucking other piece of equipment in our house, but it's become cable. It's fucking ridiculous that I have to watch. I wanted to go watch the IT Crowd last night, and so I go, and so so I go through my shit, and I find out that, IT Crowd, it's on BritBox. I was like, what the fuck is BritBox? I didn't even know BritBox was a thing. So that's another streaming service. So I signed up for a 7-day trial, so I'm just gonna binge the IT Crowd over the next 7 days because I really wanted to watch the IT Crowd. I'm just like, God damn, y'all! Like, it's ridiculous how many streaming services you have to watch shit. It's exhausting. That's why I still buy physical media. You know, people. I bought Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and my friend was like, "Dude, why'd you buy Falcon and the Winter Soldier? It's on Disney Plus." I'm like, "Dude, Disney Plus." I know I've mentioned this, but humor me. I lost I lost like 100 recordings that I had in the vault, as I call it, and so I've been slowly going back through and like download and like redoing reviews. I'm backing all of them up every single time now because I'm fucking paranoid. But I went ahead and I reviewed this film Crater, which is this sci-fi film about these kids going to a space station. It's actually a pretty damn good. It's actually a pretty damn good film, and Kid Cudi's in it, and he gives a really good performance, even though he's not in the film for a ton of it. But I really enjoyed that movie, and I was like, yeah, for like a good like basic sci-fi, for kids, I think this is actually a really good place to kind of start your kid off at. In the same way that I think Lightyear is a good example of that. Like, Lightyear's not a great movie. It's the biggest issue of Lightyear is that it is not in any way the film that it's in no way the film that people would be watching in the Toy Story universe. It is not that movie. So let's just get that out of the way. It is not that movie. With that said, though, just taking it on its own merits, I think it's a solid C plus B minus movie. I think Lightyear is actually really good. I think it's a gorgeous fucking film. I think the score is great. And Socks, that cat, God bless that cat. Socks is wonderful. But I appreciate it, Viper. But I'll be real. I like paying for my stuff just because that way my review has more weight because I'm actually putting my money behind it. So yeah, I know it's kind of a pain in the ass, but it is what it is. So funny. Actually, Reese, you know what? Fuck. Since I've got you here, are you a South Park fan? Do you like South Park? I was gonna actually yeah, okay, you're not okay, I was gonna be like, you know what, fuck, let's figure out like let me have you on for like a 4th of July review. Let me know your schedule over the next week. We'll review something for 4th of July. We'll review like Jaws or some shit. But yeah, I'm gonna end up reviewing Team America World Police for 4th of July. But Reese, if there's a 4th of July movie you like, Oh, we can talk about America. I mean, that's a separate. You know what? Okay, would you be down? All right, you know what? Fuck, I'm gonna throw this out there to you. You want to talk about that Kendrick concert? You want to talk about that? Talk about that this week? Because I would be totally down to review that concert. I've probably watched that concert. Like, okay, you're down. Okay, you let me know your schedule. We will. I'm stocked up on booze, so yeah, I can talk for like an hour about it. But yeah, let me know your schedule. Let me know your schedule. But man, yeah, I've probably watched that concert, God, like 5 or 6 times, like start to finish, like openers all the way through Kendrick's set. Um, fuck it, man, you know what? Fuck it. Like, what I'll say. Okay, I'll say this. Let me take another sip real quick. On. All right, all right. One thing I will say is, like Drake, this has kind of been a thing for Drake. You know what I mean? Like Drake was kind of on borrowed time in the sense of people forget Pusha T came out and wrecked Drake's world. I think people really forget how much Pusha T fucked up Drake. Like Pusha T ascended to a whole new level of MC because he showed lyrically he was just superior to Drake. Like it wasn't a contest. And I think it is really interesting how Drake was able to still keep making making music after that whole thing, right? But I think what people forget is not only did Pusha expose Drake for having another kid, that's what helps enhances behold a new child. Yeah, behold a whole new child. But I think that's where Drake I think I think that's where Drake fucked up because there was just a point, and I think the same thing about Justin Timberlake. I was actually talking to my one of my friends about that because Timberlake just had his DUI, which I'll be real, y'all. So many celebrities are corny to me, so I'm always just kind of like, it's not surprising. But with the whole Timberlake shit is funny because I still remember the whole Mountain Man attempt shit he's trying to do, kind of trying to pull his John Mayer shit. It just, shit didn't work. But, Timberlake did that bullshit halftime show too. And I remember when they were like, oh, Timberlake's doing the halftime show. I just started laughing. I was like, really? So we're just gonna ignore the black woman whose career suffered significantly while he just got to move on forward. And it's fucking amazing. But Timberlake was able to get away with being a douche for so long. Like, I remember I had people hating on me a little bit because, like, when he tried to make the transition to acting, which of course a lot of these actors like, that is one thing Will Smith does not get enough credit for. Like, I know Will Smith put out some like not great music, but he really was that first dude to go from music, I mean, let alone being a rapper, to being a successful actor. Like say what you will about Will Smith, and him being slap happy, but people do forget that. And I do think that we do need to put some respect on Will's name in that aspect. But Timberlake, man, he's been in some bullshit. Like, he was in The Love Guru. That's one of the worst fucking movies I've seen in my goddamn life. Even In Trouble with the Curve, like, yeah, In Time's really bad. Like, Amanda Seyfried, God bless her, she is trying in that. Like, that's In Time is kind of like Ghosted, where you're like, just on how pretty you both are, I would think you guys would have chemistry, and she has no chemistry with Timberlake at all. But he feels like the one who's just slumming it in that. Like, I think Amanda Seyfried, I think her agent just sucks. Because Amanda Seyfried will do shit. I'm like, man, she is really talented. She's awkward, she's shy, but she's fun. Like, I could tell she would be a fun time. She'd be a fun hang. And like, even seeing her do shit like Ted, like, she's clearly fucking funny. but yeah, Timberlake, it seems like that dude. Like, okay, I'll say this. Like, Britney Spears is by no means an angel. She's talked her fair amount of shit. But the thing is, if you talk shit, you better be able to take it. And Timberlake put out that whole Crimea River video, and that shit was playing every. Like, I still remember that came out, and TRL was ramming that shit. Like, you could not escape that fucking song. So it's like, oh, Britney clapped back. It's like, all right, dude, this is how, like, them are the breaks. This is how it works. Like, you talk shit, you got to be able to stick with it. I'll be right. That's how I feel about Nicki Minaj too. Like, I give Swifties a lot of shit, but man, like the Barbs. Oh man, like it's really funny to me how Megan Thee Stallion is exactly what Nicki Minaj has been cosplaying as, like, her whole career. Um, I think people forget how when Nicki Minaj was like young in the game, like as far as young her popularity, um, a Bug's Life. How a lot of what helped Nicki's prominence is how she went at Little Kim, for being out of touch and having the plastic surgery and all that. Like, she took on someone who was a legend in the game, made fun of her, and that raised her stock. Now you have Megan Thee Stallion, who Nicki Minaj is like 13 years older than, by the way, which I think people forget about. Megan Thee Stallion is doing everything that Nicki claims to be. Like Nicki or Megan is huge into anime. I love what. So okay, you know what? Fuck it. That I'll disclose this. One thing that I actually love about people, and I love about artists especially, is when they talk about their passions. I'll hype Reese up here. That's one reason why, like, when you do like a drawing stream or something like that, I get fucking hyped for it. That's because art's something that you're clearly passionate about and that you care about. I love listening to Meg talk about anime because she's clearly so into that shit, and the amount of references she puts in her music videos, I think it's really cool. I love her for that. I love hearing nerds talk about their passions. But there's nothing worse than someone who's like, that's one reason Olivia Munn's always bugged me, because she never came across like an actual nerd. You know what I mean? Like, she was like, oh, I can use this as a gateway because, all nerds are virgins. Haha. Like, it always came across like that with her. That's why I always liked Morgan Webb more back when G4 TV was a thing. Fucking love Morgan Webb because you could tell she was a fucking nerd. That's why it's so cool when you actually have like people online, like streamers and like cosplayers and stuff that are actually passionate about the shit and that aren't, just trying to use it for cachet. It's actually nice to see people get passionate about stuff. But all that to say, I'm like Megan's selling out like MSG and just like killing it right now. She's actually one of the best, like, actually one of the few good things about that movie, Dix the Musical. Yeah, Nicki Minaj, like yeah. It's so funny how Lil Wayne hasn't said shit. I think people really need, like, don't bring that up enough. Like, Kendrick is over here, and I want to save some of it for our stream, Reese, but Kendrick is out here fucking up Drake. Like, the gif I kept posting, to Drake fans is when Ant-Man looks out in the grass at Avengers compound when he's looking outside, and then Thanos rockets just come and blow up Avengers compound. I was like Drake whenever Kendrick drops a new track, and I just had so many Drake fans going like, fuck you. But yeah, Lil Wayne hasn't said a goddamn word. It is amazing. He's been quiet as fuck. He's been on fucking Undisputed with Skip Bayless over the last couple months. He can't stick up for fucking Drake. He's like, fuck that. Like, it's it's amazing. It's amazing. Lil Wayne's like, nah, fam. I said Young Money, not young girls. Like, goddamn. But to tie it back to Drake, like, Pusha T fucked up his world, but I think Drake being the cachet rapper he is, being a Pulitzer Prize winner, being seen as like maybe the best, like, Kendrick's in the GOAT conversation. whether you like it or not, Kendrick is in the GOAT conversation. Um, and Kendrick has been putting out like it. I think people. It's so weird to say this. It's so weird that the Black Panther soundtrack is underrated. Because if you go through the Black Panther soundtrack, that is like a perfectly laid out album, track by track. Like the way that each track blends into the next one, it is so fucking cool. I think people I think that's a horribly underrated album. Um, I listen to All the Stars straight up every day. I fucking love All the Stars. That's one of those. That was the first time I discovered SZA, and I was like, oh my god, this woman. I mean, first off, SZA in that music video, Lord have mercy. But I remember, like, I was like, her voice is amazing. Like, I want to hear more of her. Um, this is kind of fucked up, but fuck it. You know what's funny? It's like there's an alternate world where SZA is what Olivia was in G Unit, where where you hear Olivia on like Candy Shop and you never hear from her again. Oh fuck, that would have been sad too because SZA's so talented. Um, I to tell y'all how much of a yeah. See, you're welcome. You're welcome for the Olivia reminder. I actually have Control and SOS on vinyl. I fucking love SZA. I love her to death. So I that's someone I would love to see live. Would be SZA. But yeah, All the Stars is one of those songs. It's like holy shit. Like that's one of Kendrick's best songs. Like I would Reese will you know what Reese? All right, I'm gonna give you a little bit of homework prior to us recording. Again, let me know when top 10 Kendrick songs. I need you to rank Kendrick songs. Guest verses don't count. So it has to be like his song. So think about that. Your top 10 Kendrick. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how Drake had this incredibly like Drake beat Kendrick at his own game. Because one of the big knocks on Kendrick is, he doesn't make stuff that makes you dance. He's kind of like Nas in that way, where he's giving you stuff to like think about. And the thing is, like, that's fine. Like, I think people say it like it's a bad thing. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes I want to listen to Nas. Sometimes I want to listen to Lupe. Sometimes I want to listen to fucking, Cardi B. Sometimes I want to listen to, But you're right, Kendrick does have bangers, but Kendrick's got stuff that'll make you dance. Like I've been playing it's kind of fucked up, but I've been playing a lot of I've been playing Like That a lot because it's so funny to go back to Like That and go like, oh man, this is when it was like not even simmering. Like this is like barely simmering. This is like Kendrick being nice. But Like That's a badass track. I fucking love that song. But Kendrick's got a lot of bangers. Songs that preceded unfortunate events. Yeah, that's the thing that like Drake has never been that sort of rapper. You know what I mean? Like Drake's never been a battle rapper. Like Drake has never felt like that sort of MC. And say what you will about Eminem. Eminem got Machine Gun Kelly so bad. Machine Gun Kelly stopped doing mostly rap and started doing more pop punk. So I mean, he made that motherfucker change genres. Like, I think Eminem's output over the last 7 years has been very suspect, to be nice about it. But Eminem, when he focuses on someone, like, get the fuck out of the way. And what this beef taught us, if this beef taught us anything, it's that Kendrick has a gear that, I'll be honest, maybe even I underestimated him, and I'm as big of a Kendrick fan as anyone, but I did not expect the level of hatred that Kendrick had for Drake. Like, I was like, God damn, you hate this dude. But I was impressed because to do like a more thinking type song like Euphoria for the first half and then switch beats. First off, okay, you know what? I'm gonna save the rest of that because Reese, I want to have shit to talk about. But yeah, we will talk more about the beef later on this week because yes, I yeah, I will say, as someone who was a former churchy dude, church is kind of where I started to hate people, which I'm sure, which is the exact in the exact intended opposite of church. But yeah, church fucks you up. I will say, man, church fucks you up. Like, you know, it's really dumb, and I can say this because it's Pride Month. I think it's fucking ridiculous how there are people who go like, I don't want my kids around. I don't want my kids at a drag show. Like, drag queens are terrible, and yet you send your kids to church every Sunday. And some of you are Catholic. What does that say about y'all? I'm just saying that's a conversation people really don't want to have. I always just shake my head when I see people say that shit about drag queens. It's like, really? You think your kid is in more danger? Like, yeah. World doesn't make sense. Have I said that before? Yeah, world doesn't make sense. It's fucking ridiculous. Yeah, the Bible in general, it's one of those things. Like, it's so funny to me. Like, the Book of Eli. Like, I love the Book of Eli for that reason, because it does talk about like what a tool the Bible is, and that's what it is. It's a tool, for better or for worse. It is a tool, but I love how people need, maybe it's because people need something that's tangible, but faith isn't supposed to be tangible. That's the exact opposite effect. That's why it's called fucking faith, and people and people just don't want to have that conversation. It's like you have to, like, you have to, come on, and I just wish that people, that's the thing too about churches. Like, there's like, I still remember when I saw Spotlight, and I remember going like, God damn, like, there was a church, because you remember at the end of Spotlight they show like a list of all the cities where there's been a church where where an assault had taken place. Santa Barbara, California, that was like 40-minute drive from where I grew up. Reese says, people walk by faith, not by sight, end up running directly into a wall. Yeah, you're not wrong. Like, what's so weird though? It's like, okay, not to get too deep here, I'll say this last thing about religion, I'll move off it. But like, I definitely identify as a Christian, but whenever I tell people that, people are always surprised, because they're like, wait, you like you have gay friends and shit. And it's like, yeah, because I don't give a fuck what people do in their own bedroom. I would never tell someone how to love someone else. Like, as long as what you're doing is not hurting anyone else, which is the difference, by the way, people. Like, when I hear the whole, like, oh, those liberals and BLM and why do gay people need a month? It's like, because gay clubs get shot up. You don't want drag queens around your fucking kids. Like, I'm sorry, clowns are way scarier than a fucking drag queen, and drag queens can fucking sing. So so you're already ahead if you have a drag queen around your kid. But you want to have a drag queen around your kid, but it doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't. But yeah, it's not wokeism. It's not special treatment. It's just people wanting to be able to feel safe in the world. Why this is such a hard concept for people to grasp, I don't know. But it man. One thing I will say about the Bible, or like a biblical type movie. If y'all haven't seen Noah, the Darren Aronofsky film, that's a good fucking flick. I actually enjoy that film quite a bit. Reese said most Christians pick and choose which parts of the Bible to follow. Funny how many of them choose the hateful parts. Yeah, you're 1,000% right, homie. It's wild. It's really wild. But yeah, wow, it went over an hour. Shit, I wasn't expecting that. So to kind of put a bow on this, what I'll say is it's been weird. It's been weird not working. It's kind of making me feel a little insecure, a little aimless. But you know what? It means I get to spend more time with y'all. It means I have more time to do this shit. It means more time to get some reviews done and spend time with my cats and So I'm gonna enjoy this next month like this next month. I'm gonna enjoy this next month not having a job, and I'm trying to be working by first week of August. That's what I'm shooting for. But yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this next month. I'm Reese, I will hit you up here tomorrow. We'll figure out when we stream and talk about Kendrick. Um, but for the rest of the week, I am gonna do my MCU wish list. That's gonna be 12 things I want for the MCU to do. I am gonna go ahead. That'll be on Thursday night. Thursday night, I'll do that. I'll probably do that like at 6 Eastern, but I'll let y'all know. So I'll probably be doing that Thursday, and then Saturday morning I'll be doing a AEW Forbidden Door prediction show. I'm excited to do that. Sorry. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and be doing a little more streaming here this week. I'm gonna have a review up here soon for Ultraman Rising, and then I actually have a review for this new film that came out called Queen Rising, along with interviews with the director and the star of that movie. Yeah, I'll have got some stuff coming up for y'all. But everyone, thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. Shout out to the Afternoon Tune. Shout out to Viper Fox. If you do not follow the Afternoon Tune, I'm on there. I'm on there quite a bit. So yeah, y'all should definitely go ahead and follow them though. They are on Twitch at twitch.tv/Afternoon Tune. They're streaming pretty much every day. But I would definitely check them out. They're good people, big fan of theirs, and if you do that, you're going ahead and you're helping me out too, because those are homies. Yeah, but go ahead and check them out. At twitch.tv/Afternoon Tune. And then check out Viper Fox. You can check her out on Twitch at twitch.tv/ I believe it's Viper Fox, VIPERFOXE. Yeah, Reese is the homie. Thanks so much, Reese, for stopping in. That was really cool. That was a pleasant surprise. Always love talking to you. But yeah, we're gonna be talking about the Kendrick Drake feud, which I'm always down to talk about. So yeah, I'm gonna be hitting up Reese tomorrow. We'll probably do that by the end of the week. I think we can get that make that happen. But yeah, you go ahead and follow Viper Fox on Twitch at twitch.tv/VIPERFOXE. Everyone, again, thank you so much for listening. Thanks so much for spending part of your Tuesday morning, very early Tuesday morning for some of us, spending that with me. I really appreciate it. And never forget, as always, to keep it real. I'll talk to y'all soon.